What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Last time, we got to begin looking at the Cell Saga, seeing what was happening there leading up to the ending of the last part. Luckily, Goku was able to use his power to unlock a brand new form, Wrathful Super Saiyan, a combination of his Wrathful state and his Super Saiyan state. Cell was also able to use his own Wrathful power, and at the very end of the last part, we saw that he copied Goku one more time, using that anger to transform himself somehow. For this part, let's let a like goal of 3,000 likes. Once we hit that, I'll continue with another part of the series. Anyways, let's pick it from here. Cell keeps powering up, more and more, utilizing his own anger. Goku and the others watch horrified. There's no way he's actually going to be able to do it. He's using the same power that Goku has. And he begins undergoing a change. Somewhat similar to what Goku had, but also very different considering Cell's body. He finishes morphing, and a new Cell is revealed. Even though he was perfect before, it seems he's ascended past that somehow. Building upon his own perfection, getting stronger, more powerful, more perfect. Since his body was quote-unquote perfect before, he won't change too much. But there are some physical indications that he's transformed. He's slightly bulked up, his eyes are different. The coloration on his face and body have changed. Also, his aura is a lot more intense, changing shape and color. There's no doubt about it. He was able to pull off the same stunt that Goku was. He's using his own version of Wrathful Super Saiyan, although his very own unique version of it. Goku looks over in awe, and before he even realizes it, he sees Cell smirk, with Cell then appearing right behind him. One punch knocks Goku away into a nearby cliff, with him jumping out of the rubble, injured and grabbing his arm. That was just one punch. How did it have that much power? Even with this new power that he's using, Cell got so strong from this, just like he expected. He goes to fight Cell, but Cell keeps tanking every hit that he takes. All ki blasts, all kicks, all punches, nothing is working against him. After Goku delivers a flurry of attacks, Cell decides it's his turn, attacking Goku in response, easily turning the tide of the battle. The group is watching on, not knowing what to do. Future Cargo has an idea though. He tells Piccolo that they should all fuse. It's the only way they could win against this monster. Piccolo says they can't risk that though. Cargo needs to return to the future. If Cargo fuses into him, he'll be stuck here. They won't be able to unfuse him. But Cargo argues back. It's either that or Cell wins. And not just him either. They need the other Cargo to fuse in too. Present Cargo's not too sure what to do, but he agrees with his future self. Since they came back with him, future Trunks and Gohan give their input too. They agree. Cargo is willingly going to sacrifice himself. It means they might be able to defeat Cell if they all fuse. There's no other way to help Goku. Piccolo's debating what to do, and reluctantly decides to agree. The two Cargos place their hands on Piccolo, and they begin powering up, ready to fuse into him. But before they do it, someone flies past them. It's Vegeta. He's flickering in and out of his Wrathful state, as well as in and out of Super Saiyan, trying to use the same power that Goku's using. He catches Cell off guard with a punch. But clearly with his power, that's the only attack he's going to ever get in. His power keeps fluctuating up and down. He's trying to access this form, but he can't. Without his tail, he can't go Golden Great Ape. He needs to be healed first. Wrathful works, Super Saiyan works, and in his eyes, this means he may be able to achieve the form. Not in the same way as Goku, but still, it's similar. It might work. He doesn't care. He's gonna try regardless. Cell swats Vegeta away, but he serves as a good distraction. As he flew by, he actually had something in his hand, a Senzu beam. He handed it over to Goku as he flew past, with Goku immediately eating it and healing. With Vegeta swatted away, he's caught by Cargo, who then heals him. He could have also gone in and healed Goku himself, but it would have been too dangerous. He most likely would have died against Cell. Being healed by Cargo means that Vegeta got a Zenkai boost, and he regrew his tail. This only makes him feel more confident. He wants to jump back into the fight, but Cargo warns him. If he goes back in, Cargo doesn't know if he can heal him again. Vegeta has too much power and he can't restore all of that. So if Vegeta's gonna go into battle, he needs to make it count. Now being healed, Goku powers up once more, lunging at Cell. But even with this boost, he still can't beat Cell. He's even the playing field a bit, but it's not enough. Cell can still regenerate, so even though Goku can deal damage to him now, it's still not enough. He needs to fully incinerate Cell before he can defeat him. Goku and Cell continue their fight, as the two Cargos contemplate whether or not they could fuse into Piccolo. Goku may actually have a shot here, they're not too sure though. But Vegeta tells them not to worry, he'll help him handle this. He'll turn into a Wrathful Super Saiyan no matter what. He doesn't care about the risk, he'll do it. He'll go into Golden Great Ape and control the power. Neither Goku nor Cell are making any progress, although Cell knows he can outlast Goku. As long as he keeps this battle going for as long as he can, he'll win. The two launch towards each other and clash, with their fists hitting each other, both in the stomach, dealing even damage to the other. But with his hand still on Cell's gut, Goku launches a massive blast, leaving a hole in Cell's side. He finally landed a good hit, but Cell's obviously able to regenerate from this. Goku jumps back, ready to attack once more. But the ground starts shaking. Cell chuckles. Once again, Vegeta has turned into a golden great ape. He's not going to be able to access Wrathful Super Saiyan the way Goku did. That obviously didn't work before. Instead, he's once more trying to master the power of Golden Great Ape. And this time, he actually does seem a little bit more controlled. He briefly does fight in this form, and Cell's able to outpace him pretty easily, with Goku still fighting Cell in the process. Vegeta serves as a nice distraction, but Cell decides he's had his fun. He goes to cut off Vegeta's tail once more, but as he does, the tail moves out of sight, right when he was about to grab it. He looks behind him, and he sees something new. Vegeta's shrinking, and Goku looks on with a smile. He knows what just happened. Vegeta finally did it. Through his sheer determination, Vegeta is now using Wrathful Super Saiyan, finally having accomplished this goal. Although he's amazed with this power, he knows they can't waste time. They can't get sloppy anymore. He stands beside Goku, and the two prepare to defeat Cell with one final push. Together, they each charge energy in their fist, maneuvering around all of Cell's attacks and avoiding them. They hop around the area with immense speed, even flying past Cell at points and delivering stray punches and kicks, while continuing to charge energy in their other fist. Cell decides he's gonna go all out too. In his hands, he charges a Kamehameha. Goku and Vegeta stand back to back, their hands glowing with energy. Cell launches the blast, ready to wipe them out as well as Earth. But the two don't give in. Together, they jump towards Cell, each with their fist out. With no effort at all, they cut right through Cell's blast. No, they're not just cutting through the blast. The group watches on, and Cell's blast is being pushed back. Not only are Goku and Vegeta using their own attack, but they're turning Cell's own attack against him. With their immense combined strength, they're able to reflect Cell's Kamehameha, which injures Cell but doesn't fully erase him. He cut off the power just before it hit him. He's standing there, injured and mangled, trying desperately to regenerate himself. But Goku and Vegeta are continuing to fly towards him. This all happens in the blink of an eye, and before they even know it, the group then sees. Goku and Vegeta's fists make contact with Cell, as they tear through the android, with Cell being torn in half. The two skid to a halt, quickly turning around and launching all that ki that they charged up. You guys like coming up with attack names, so let's try and come up with one here. We'll refer to this combo attack as the Wrathful Rush, because I like my alliteration. With this combined effort, the blast hits Cell, erasing what little remains of him. Finally, it seems that Cell is defeated, thanks to a combined effort from these two. Out of breath, the two power down into their base, giving each other a thumbs up. This wraps things up nicely. Sadly, the future warriors and Gohan didn't really get too much time to fight, but it doesn't matter too much. The fighters from the future will get their chance once they go back to defeat the androids. And as for Gohan, well, we'll see more of him later in this episode. But let's focus on future Gohan and his pals for now. With the new strength of future Trunks, future Gohan, and future Cargo, they now know that they can defeat the androids. They say goodbye to everyone and give their thanks, as they go back to their timeline, ready to save it. But before they go and defeat the androids, they have one last thing in mind that they should do. They could use another ally. They remember from the past, there was that one android, Android 16. And maybe they could take some notes from that. If they could find Jiro's lab here, they could find him, reprogram him, and have another fighter on their side. And they do just that. They're quickly able to find Jiro's lab, bringing Android 16 back to Bulma, who reprograms him. Not that they need the extra firepower against the androids, but it would be nice to have him just in case. One day, 17 and 18 are destroying a city as usual, and they see three familiar figures step out, with another one beside them. They laugh. Oh great, they got a new friend. What's he gonna do? They'll just beat up these fighters like they have a million times before, and their new buddy as well. 16 then reveals who he is, and they're surprised. Another android. Weird. Why is he working with that group? Shouldn't he come join them? They should stick together after all. They're all androids. But 16 doesn't even entertain this response. He takes off both his arms and launches a Hell's Flash, instantly erasing Android 18. 17 only barely jumps out of the way, but then feels a hand on his shoulder as Cargo punches him, knocking him into Trunks, who grabs him. He tells Gohan that 17 is all his, as he drop kicks the android. 17 flies up trying to escape, but as he does, Gohan outspeeds him, meeting him up in the air. And 17 then sees light below him. He looks down and sees Gohan holding a hand out right towards his stomach, with a point-blank blast ready to kill him. 17 throws up a shield, but it doesn't do anything. It just traps him in there with Gohan. A massive explosion occurs in the sky, with green dust coming down from 17's barrier. Gohan killed him with one attack, and now finally, the future is safe. And they have a new friend beside them. It all turned out perfectly. And now Gohan and Trunks can work towards their own version of Wrathful Super Saiyan. Hopefully they'll be able to find it somehow. But hey, even if they don't, they're still strong enough in Super Saiyan, which they're content about. With that happy ending, we can go back to the main timeline. I also just realized I've been calling it Wrathful Super Saiyan this whole time, even though I decided it's easier to just call it Super Saiyan 4 since that's simpler. So, just a little side note, if you hear me say Wrathful Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 4, I'm referring to the same thing. It's weird because in the universe of this scenario, Super Saiyan 4 wouldn't make sense since they don't even have Super Saiyan 2 yet. But I'll just refer to it as that for simplicity. Anyway, speaking of Super Saiyan 4, Vegeta may have it, but he doesn't have great control over it, at least not like what Goku does. Goku did different training as we saw in the Cell Saga, and that's why he accessed the form easier and quicker than Vegeta did, and seemingly had more control over it. When Vegeta uses it, it's very draining, and it takes a lot of effort to transform into. This leaves him behind Goku a bit. Even though he does get a lot stronger and has access to this form, it takes some time for him to catch up. He eventually does get some control over the form and is able to use it a lot more efficiently. But still, Goku's ahead. Gohan eventually follows up next, being able to get Super Saiyan 4 for himself. And when he uses it, surprisingly, he gets older. Weird. Super Saiyan 4 is a weird form. It changes your clothes somehow, and with Kid Goku, it was able to make him age up. So, do I have any real reason for Gohan to have the same ability? Well, not really. I just think it's funny. Too bad though, because the joke doesn't really last since Gohan's gonna be fully grown soon anyways. But still, I find some humor in Gohan going from this to this. Well, at least he knows what he's gonna look like as an adult. Either way though, the three of them all agree on one thing. The form is amazing, regardless of how much control they each have over it. The power from it is incredible. They feel like they could defeat anyone, and the raw power outfit is almost too incredible in a way. Yeah, it may seem like they're overpowered now, but consider what arc's next, the Buu arc. And having a form this strong may actually be a double-edged sword. We'll see this as this part continues. We get into a time skip and eventually to the Buu saga. Gohan and Cargo are now older, as well as Dende too, I guess. Not to mention Goten and Trunks. As for Cargo though, his training's going pretty well. I still only have one piece of art for him, so he's still stuck in the same pose, but besides that, he's doing fine. Hopefully in the next part he'll be able to do a different pose. Jokes aside though, his training with Piccolo's going great. The two of them are growing off each other. And as you expect, Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan have all grown stronger, but Vegeta's still a bit bitter. Kakarot is still so far ahead of him, and thanks to his hybrid potential, Gohan's catching up too. Vegeta's not too sure how to feel. Speaking of Gohan, Super Saiyan 4 would actually change the Great Saiyaman. There wouldn't really be need for an outfit when Gohan could just transform into this. I mean, look at it. This is a good enough disguise as is, so he could just transform into this and use it to fight. It's perfect. It gives him the great power he needs to serve justice, as well as giving him a disguise. He loves it. Of course, Videl is still able to catch on eventually. I mean, Gohan's the only kid in school with a tail. And once you catches glimpses of the Great Saiyaman's face, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Thankfully, most civilians in Dragon Ball are really stupid, so they don't notice this. But Videl picks up on it, which is all that really matters. Eventually, we're led into the tournament. Things go pretty smoothly, but with this being the Great Saiyaman's disguise, that means Gohan has to enter and fight in Super Saiyan 4. It may not seem like a big deal, but this does cause problems later on. Once he's fighting Kibito, his energy gets stolen by Spopovich and Yamu. And with him being in Super Saiyan 4, as you could probably guess, they'd get a lot of energy from this, like way more than they got originally. Even they're surprised too, but they're able to escape. Kibito didn't realize how much power Gohan had in him. He was holding back in Super Saiyan 4, but once Gohan drew out all his power, well, it was kinda too late to stop him. Shin and Kibito realized that they screwed up. When the group finds Babidi, the fights are actually pretty simple, as you'd expect. But there is an issue. They need to hold back as much as possible, because they don't know how much energy Babidi actually has. Even if they give off little amounts, that'll be enough to send him over the edge, giving him just enough to revive Majin Buu. Gohan gave off way too much before, and for all they know, he's right on the edge of reviving Buu. So anything they do will be bad, and no matter how much they hold back, still, they may be giving off too much. And this issue does actually come into play. Pui Pui and Yakon are really easy to defeat, but as for Dabura, it does take a little bit more effort, and even though it's no issue for them to defeat him, well, the power that they have to give off to kill him is still more than enough to give Babidi the power that he needs. But they can't really avoid it. Not to mention, they don't really know how much power Babidi has anyways, and they don't realize until it's too late. They thought that they were holding back enough, but it doesn't seem that way. Killing Dabura alone gave him enough energy, and now Majin Buu is revived. But he's not really that intimidating. I mean, yeah, physically he doesn't look intimidating, but in terms of power, they're not intimidated at all. 3 Super Saiyan 4s against Buu. That's more than enough. They could kill him right now if they needed, and they're prepared to do that. And Babidi's actually kind of terrified. He knows that this will be an issue, but maybe if he gets rid of one of them, they may be able to win. If he doesn't act quickly, they'll kill Majin Buu before he gets a chance to do anything. So he keeps Buu away from them for now, as Babidi tries to work his magic. And then he notices the perfect target. he won't even need much effort. He knows exactly what he needs to do. He needs to possess Vegeta. Vegeta is still jealous of Kakarot's power, wanting to surpass him and beat him in a battle. And just like normal, Babidi can exploit that, manipulating Vegeta into being evil once more. With this, we have the birth of Super Saiyan 4 Majin Vegeta, who is sent to fight Goku. Gohan is now the only one facing Buu, besides Shin and Kibito being there, as well as Cargo, Piccolo, and Krillin watching on. And Gohan actually does have enough power. He may have been able to defeat Buu alone. 3 Super Saiyan 4s is overkill, but even 1 Super Saiyan 4 should be enough. Although there is one issue. Gohan's been transformed for so long. Remember, this is his disguise. This is how he is the Great Saiyan Man. He hasn't de-transformed this whole time. He's been using it all along. And due to that, he's lost some power. He can't keep this up forever. He needs to make it quick. And with that, we'll leave this part off here for now. So what did you think about this part? What'll happen with Majin Vegeta? And will Gohan be able to defeat Buu? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video so we can get another part of this series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe, as well as clicking that bell icon to get notified about any future parts of this What If, or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.